Hi, I'm Troy Rafferty. I'm a board certified civil trial lawyer. I practice law here at Levin, Papantonio, and have so for the last 20 years. I have been a shareholder here for the last 14 years. I specialize primarily in personal injury cases that include complex pharmaceutical cases, drug cases, as well as product liability and other types of personal injury cases. Board certification is a recognition by the Florida Bar of specialized knowledge, skill, experience, and proficiency in certain areas of the law. Not every lawyer is board certified in their specialty. In fact, I believe the last count was about 6% of lawyers are actually board certified. And what you do is based upon your experience and your skills. You then, after having attained a certain level of experience, then you also then sit for an additional exam, and are rated by other people in your profession to become board certified. I'm one of those people that I guess was fortunate that that's all I've ever wanted to be, was a trial lawyer. Whether it was watching a movie involving trial lawyers or anything else, I just always knew from the time from ever since I can remember, that what I wanted to do was be a trial lawyer. And I was fortunate enough to really, get involved at the high school level in different, for example, debate and other types of programs like that. And it was never a question in my mind as to what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. You have to have a passion for what you do. You have to care. You have to care about your clients. You have to care about your profession. You have to care about the law. And you really have to believe in what you do. And that's really what gets me up every morning. I really, truly believe in what I do. I truly believe in this notion that the courthouse is the true equalizer in our society. It's what really the cornerstone of what our society is built upon and what our democracy is built upon. And that is that when you walk into a courtroom, everybody is seen equal. Whether you are a large multinational corporation or whether you are, an individual walking in there. And so it doesn't matter that you are seen equal before the law. And that is really, to me, one of the really true great parts of our democracy and our society, and its foundation, which is the jury trial. And that is that it's not just a judge that is making it, or some appointed person from the government that is making the decisions that impact your life. It is actual members of your community. It is members of your peers who are coming in, and they're going to be the ones that hear the dispute that you have and are going to make the decisions as to whether or not who is right and who's wrong, and what just compensation is, for example. But to me, that's really one of the really truly great things about what I do, what we do here at this firm, is it really gives you a purpose. It gives you a real large view on not just every particular client, but on a larger scale. One of the things that clients need to look at most importantly is experience. Number one, you want a law firm and a lawyer who has experience handling the types of cases that you have. You also want to look for a firm that has the resources to prosecute your case. You want to make sure that that law firm is going to be able to, stand up to the corporations or whoever it is that you have. A lot of times, which are much better funded than you are as an individual. And so you want to make sure you've got a law firm and a lawyer who has the resources to engage in that fight. And then you also want to find a lawyer who you are comfortable with and that cares. And I know I keep going back to that, but you really have to find a lawyer who is going to be there to fight for you, to advocate for you, and to be, your voice in that courtroom, in that great equalizer. Every case is individual here at Levin Papantonio. We represent a lot of individuals in mass torts, and a lot of times, unfortunately, because people hear the phrase mass torts, they just think, well, I'm just a file in a filing cabinet. That's not the way it works. Each case is evaluated and worked individually, and it actually, in terms of the expense, it costs you, the client, nothing in order to prosecute your case. The law firm, under our contingency fee system, fronts or advances all the expenses of the litigation. when we make a recovery for you, those costs are repaid out of the recovery. I've had the good fortune of trying a lot of cases for a lot of great clients, and I think I've gotten this question several times. A lot of times people ask you, what's your greatest victory as a trial lawyer? Really, and I have to be honest, every time I win a case for a client, that becomes my greatest triumph. Really, every time you're able to walk out of a courtroom and know that you gave everything that you had, that you put in the long hours, that you worked tirelessly, that you prepared, that you were passionate, and that you did everything you could do for that client, and you walk out of that courtroom having won that case for the client, there's no feeling like it, and that becomes your greatest triumph. I've had the real good fortune of working with a lot of great trial lawyers here at the firm. There are a number of great trial lawyers here at the firm, and I've been fortunate to not only work with them, but to learn from them and to try cases with them, which has been an extraordinary experience for me. But you talk about who a lot of times people ask who the greatest influence is in your life, my response, and right, quite frankly, not only in my life but in my work, is always and probably will always be my wife and my family. So while I've worked with a lot of great lawyers that I respect and they've taught me a number of things, I still look in terms of for my inspiration and my for everything in terms of how I perform, even professionally. I would have to say my wife and my family, my daughter, are the biggest influence in my life. Probably the biggest reason to choose our law firm to handle your cases is because we fight and we care, and I think those are two of the biggest traits or characteristics you need in a law firm. You need somebody that's going to fight for you, and you need somebody that's going to care, and we do both of those. And in addition, we have the resources to not only fight but to keep the fight, and against great odds. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of about this law firm, is we take on great fights against all the odds, and we care and we win.